Gauteng. Good morning, Comic Con Cape Town, day 2. Welcome to RGB Gaming, and today we're going to be doing some Overwatch for some schools. I'm joined here by my co-host Joe. My name is Charles. We are very glad to enjoy this moment with you, getting some schools to compete in Overwatch, getting to the spirit of esports. Joe, what are you expecting to see today?
I hope to see some great play. Me as a main tank player myself, I like to see some great main tanks out there. So let's see. Today we've got our first live match. It's going to be Rondebosch versus Edgemead on the live stream. Offline, we'll have Walter Kloof versus Paul Ruiz, excuse me, Paul Ruiz. So it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to round out. I really hope to see some main tank play, um, especially with Ramatra being now in the competitive pool, seeing how that's going to work out.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm also very excited to see that, see how these schools get into the spirit of esports on this high competitive level. Overwatch is a very competitive game, and to be introducing that into the South African schools is very exciting to see. So, guys, we're going to go to a short intermission. We're going to show the brackets for everyone there at the crowd before we get the first match starting. So, we'll see you guys soon.
And here we go. We've got Edgemead versus
Ronnebusch.
Ronnebusch. Let's see how it goes.
Right.
Ramatra there on the left.
Okay, we've got some interesting plays here. Some traces going around to see these points. Oh, okay. So that was just a quick speaking out to see the players here. Waiting to see what happens here. We've got a little bit of a disconnect there, it seems. Okay, we've got 15 seconds until this match starts. Players getting ready. Just a quick scope to see each other there. See what the early picks us. Interesting to see that we have some Ramatra mains going out here in the first part. Okay, so on the Ronnebusch side, it seems we've got the Ramatra tank on both sides actually.
And there we go. We are back in the game.
All right, let's see what these teams will be doing. Let's look at the strategies that we're playing here. Okay, we've got some Ramatras, we've got some air power going on here with the Fora player on the Ronnebusch side. All right. Got some early on the point here, Fora getting some early picks there. Quickly moving the team onto the point here, we can see getting ready for that control point lock-in, already dominating the ground there. We've got the Fora coming up ahead. We've got a pharmacy going on here. Early play, we can see some composition strategy happening over here. Some Hanzo picks. Let's see what these players are doing. Ramatra versus Ramatra here. And we got the Foras taking out the supports as the way they should.
Fora going for the Ramatra and the Symmetra. Let's see if she can get through to it. Let's see if she can take them down. She's lost her Mercy. Looks like she's taken out the Ramatra. And unfortunately, the Fora has also been taken out by the Symmetra. See a Cowboy here as well. Okay. So we've got our Symmetra setting up some turrets, seeing if she can just zone them away a bit. It's going to be definitely interesting. But Shal, I have to say, I really do like the support lineup for both teams. We've got an Honor for that massive healing output, as well as a Mercy for the Fora. But then we've got a Lucio for speed boost for the Cassidy and the Ramatra. I think it's going to be definitely interesting. Ramatra over here doing some work. Fora taking out somebody with a barrage.
Oh, we've got some really strong Ramatra play here. Considering a new champion, it's interesting to see here the play. But unfortunately, that Fora just gets that picks out, taking out the support team as well as the DPSs with the Fora and the Honor there. Let's see what these players are doing. Oh, we've got some switches here on the team to Reaper for that close action to try and deal with the Ramatra from the opposite side, but they're ignoring the Fora from the top there. So they effectively have no one to deal, except for the Honor, they have no one to deal with the Fora at the top line if the Fora gets some height there.
Yeah, it's a very interesting choice that they've done that, considering that they haven't really added any hit scan to deal with the Fora, and the Fora is definitely doing work already on 71% to a second ultimate. 77, 80, definitely doing a lot of work. I've got to say, Honor having that nano boost ready, definitely in the lead compared to the opposing Honor, only at 90. However, she is back in spawn. I have to make her way back. So let's see. Let's see if we can get a sound barrier to deal with this Reptile, and the Reptile takes it out.
That Reptile just took out the DPS completely, prepping an ult. A lot of ult investment we're having here from both teams.
Lot of ult investment from the red team to take and capture this point. However, unfortunately, losing quite a few members, but it seems like they're definitely taking those points and taking it on 99.
They've actually got to get themselves the point back to get on the scoreboard finally, playing it back into overtime, taking over that point to oppose the enemy team.
Yeah, Forest still doing a lot of work, taking out that Symmetra, definitely doing a lot of work. Ramatra putting up some barriers to protect and keep them safe, while the Fora can just poke and do some damage. Symmetra putting up a turret in a fairly strange place. Reaper going there into the backlines trying to deal with him, but not really getting anything considering his close range. That's very, very interesting.
Yeah, and we've got some defensive play happening here from the Ramatra side and the far. We're planning on keeping them in spawn, but it seems with the tank staying on point just to protect from any backups, that strategy unfortunately did not work out as planned. And we've got a Reaper ult invested
Reaper
here.
ultimate, and the Ramatra tanks it like a champion, absorbing all of that damage. Well done. What a play.
Absolutely, that was an excellent play here, and the Forest is taking them out here, securing that point, making sure they can keep that points running on the scoreboard, contesting the point, so they can get on the scoreboard and hopefully take it to 99 on the contestation for the platform, so that they can actually keep them off one last time to secure the round one.
Mercy pocketing this forest, doing a lot of work. It might look like she doesn't do a lot, but she's definitely doing a lot of work. Ramatra v Ramatra.
All right, yeah, we've got Safara taking off another ult invest. They're just eliminating the competition. That was a fairly quickly ult pull from the Farah there as well, to take off that.
Coming in with a triple K off the back of that barrage. I mean, that's the third barrage she's built in this round alone. That's pretty impressive. Seeing them push up on the right-hand side now, or the high ground, trying to take that. Trying to contest with the Farah, putting the TP. Ooh, TP failed, unfortunately.
Someone's on the point to touch here.
They have to get onto point, touch, but they've only got the Ramatra. Both Ramatras are anti-nated, nothing to be taken from them, and it seems that it will definitely be the end of this round going to
Rondabush. Yeah, Rondabush will definitely take the first round. Oh, not Rondabush, sorry. Rondabush actually lost this first round. Let's see if they can get back into the second round. So Edgemead definitely displaying some power there in that first round, with some excellent Farah play. And this part of Busan also a very, very prominent Widow and Farah play to get up in the sky, to get those early picks out for the teams. Let's see how they will do. Can Rondabush get back in the second round, or will Edgemead end it off this one? Let's see what they will do. We've got some more swaps onto Soldier and Hanzo on the Rondabush side to try and deal with that Farah, as she really, really made it difficult the last round for them to get any ground, just putting a lot of pressure on the DPSs and supports with that Farah from above. And we're seeing some Ramatra versus Ramatra on the point again here, while the DPSs are taking care of business. We got the Farah coming in here, taking out those supports as she should, to cancel basically all healing for the tanks. We've got a little bit of a Reddit Lucio here happening from the Rondabush side, trying to touch, and unfortunately did not get that cap point to delay that just a bit.
Yeah, Mercy coming in with that raise on the forehead just to keep the poke damage alive, build that ultimate, use it as a zoning utility, and just keep them away. It is very interesting to me that the Soldier 76 and especially the Hanzo aren't really taking the high ground here on the left-hand side, just to do some poke damage and keep that Farah at bay. It's very, very interesting. I would suggest, there we go, Hanzo gets up there, do some poke damage, see what they can do.
The Farah spots him immediately and puts the pressure back on to keep the team at bay.
Soldier playing out of cubby there on the right-hand side, definitely doing a lot of work as well. Ono healing her team as she should, building up that ultimate.
We've almost got an ultimate here. Well, Farah's got an ultimate ready. She's just waiting for the team to group up on the Rondabush side so that they can take out these players and keep the pressure on to keep them off the point.
Ramatra for the blue side, pressuring them, pulling the Farah down so that they can try and deal with her because she is doing a lot of damage. They probably, there we go, taking out her ultimate, using it, taking down the Ramatra. The Reddit Lucio contesting the Farah in the sky.
Oh, it's been taken out, unfortunately, and keeping the points are still counting for Edgemead. They are definitely dominating this point. The Rondabush boys have got to change their strategy really, really quickly to be able to get on the scoreboard and take this map. Otherwise, they will lose this match one. There we've got an ult there from the Rondabush hypervisor going in, trying to get, but the Ramatra is just taking it out, protecting his team, going solo while his team sort of dissipates and going around, just keep on putting the pressure on. We've actually
Perfect
got most of
nano.
the team out here.
Perfect nano on that Ramatra to keep him alive for longer when he got slept and antied. That was really well played.
Oh,
And there we go. If they don't contest this far, they are going to have a bad time. They have to take her out.
at the very least, he has to delay for his team to get back. Farah is just putting on pressure. They solo ulting just to get that health boost as well as the area damage. Enough time for the Lucio to get back on point to help him contest and push the Farah off this point. Here at the back, we've got an ult here from the Ramatra as well as a Farah ult. Taking out the Ramatra there with the Hanzo ult coming through. Unfortunately, not
Sorry,
hitting.
getting a mercy
Just a mercy, just taking the mercy there.
back into OT. And let's see, and they couldn't
Oh,
touch.
and
And that
Edge Me takes match one. Congratulations.
good game.
Well, that was definitely a steamroll round. Runnerbush boys put up a great fight, but unfortunately not able to deal with that Farah well enough to actually keep the pressure off the team and their supports. And here we can see the play of the game from the Symmetra here, just beaming straight through the edge meet supports, making sure the team could cap this point. If only they could keep this pressure on for the round two.
Yeah, I think we'll quickly go to a quick intermission while we're ready up the next match with the
Yeah.
next teams, and we will be back shortly.
Yeah. See you guys soon.
And we are back.
yeah, with another exciting match. Now we've got
Paul Boys in the blue side, and then we've got Edgemead again on the red hands or the red side.
yes, and Edgemead had a spectacular match the previous round, just dominating that control point there on Busan. Let's see what they will do now against the Pearl Boys to see how these teams will match out. We've got a Ramatra from the Edgemead, but we've got a Rhine from the Pearl Boys side, looking at some close combat with the Reaper there, Reaper and Lucio, with some. Looks like these players have paid attention to the Farah threat in the previous match and have actually switched to deal with that Farah on the DPS side. So this should be exciting to watch, Joe.
Definitely. I really do like the fact that there's a Torbjorn that can put down a turret and also act as a mini 6 player that can just zone that Farah for us. That's going to be very interesting. And I like the Reinhardt. I love a Reinhardt. He's a great tank. But you have to play very safe around him. And you've got to play close to your supports. You can't just push randomly.
And I'm also wanting to see, as this is one of our favorite maps due to the environmental kills, we want to see some Lucio boops here off the maps. So that Farah, again, just putting a lot of pressure, taking out that turret, immediately putting the team at a disadvantage because they don't have anything to deal with her at top in terms of putting down the pressure back onto the edge boys. So them, again, just pushing down the team, putting them back and securing this first point. The Edgemead is doing some serious plays here, some serious strategies. We can really see that this team has practiced together and strategized for this team. This pharmacy is just something that is of note, that is a massive threat here to the Pearl Boys.
Yeah, and I really like the Mercy. She isn't just pocketing just the Farah. She is diving off, going for some heals elsewhere. And the Farah coming out with another ultimate, just zoning, definitely taking a lot or doing a lot of work there to finish that fight before it even properly started. Paul Boys trickling in with the Reaper, just trickling in, trying to get some perk damage, build that ult. They are at ult disadvantage at this point in time compared to Edgemead. So we'll see how it plays out when all the ults are online, and we can definitely handle it from there.
And the Pearl Boys, Baptiste, putting in that early immobilizing field just to get their team safe from that Farah. And we've already got tremendous ult builds here from the Edgemead side, just dominating, absolutely keeping them off this point. The Pearl Boys are going to have to come up with another strategy to get to point quickly and take out that Farah, first of all, as she is the biggest threat there on that high ground. They need to deal with that Farah if they're going to have any chance of getting to this point. They may need to swap off from the Rhine to a more dive composition in order to get out of that fire from the Farah.
Yeah, I would really like to see some aerial combat from the tank to try and take care of the Farah and the Mercy. But yeah, also the Reaper, not necessarily the best pick in this situation. Reaper is very good close quarters, but they can't get close because the Farah is just absolutely melting them before they can even get through. However, big ult usage here from the from Edgemead's side, just investing a lot of ults, but that is the end of this round, a 0-100 side.
And that ult investment from the Edgemead side definitely paid off because it kept them off the point, keep them completely as far away as they possibly could from that point, just to make sure that they cannot get on the board and contest. So now we've got another map here that is one of our favorite maps to play Lucio on, as the environmental kills here are just prone to play of the game, setting up those strategies for your team.
Most definitely. And with it being I would have thought to see some Roadhog hooks here, but it looks like they're playing Winston versus Sigma. It's definitely an interesting thing. However, the Sigma might be very powerful compared to or against the Farah, just blocking off sightlines with a shield that can be put up and moved around and be static. However, a lot of mines being or grenades being spammed already, trying to get some early damage picks. Let's see what the Winston does and how they take it from there.
Yeah, definitely. I would have thought that maybe they would play something like a Soldier or a Widow or an Ashe to take care of that Farah. But it seems like they're just going to keep together as a team, playing that close quarters, trying to get that damage, getting under the buildings and out of sight from the Farah, who is just ripping through the Farah as well as the Junkrat, just with that spam damage, that aerial damage that they have with explosives, just really just gets into get into the Power Boys teams, doing that damage and keeping the healers from hitting them, making it a spectacularly difficult job to keep the hills going.
Yeah, no, definitely. And they, unfortunately, with the Fara taking control of the sky, they've got nothing to combat it. So they are going to be forced to play in buildings, which then opens up for the Junkrat, which
Mm.
he can then do a lot of spam damage either with his mines or his grenades or with his trap that he can set and just force them to stay there, where the Fara then can use the ultimate and just clean up house.
The Power Boys definitely have to do something quickly. We're already on 34%.
Ooh,
Um,
oh wow, a double environmental kill from the Fara on both of the supports. That is phenomenal. That's definitely a play of the game potential candidate right there.
as we said before, this is why we love this map, because of the environmental damage that you can actually get here with champions like Farah, like Lucio, like Roadhog. Just keep that team off. And they're continuing to putting on the pressure here. We are looking at a play of the match here that Farah just unyielding with the damage she puts out to keep the team away from the point, keep them from contesting the point, just keeping them back in general. That Farah just taking out everyone there with those damage, leaving the tank alone here from the Power Boys with no healers, no DPS really to support him there, just taking him out, putting the turret down there to try and deal with the Farah. But unfortunately, due to the positioning, it did not go well.
I love seeing the Torbjorn ultra confident using his hammer. That would have been funny if the Torbjorn could have gotten a hammer kill on the Winston, but it is unfortunately not to be. But a sneaky try and backcap. At least they could potentially, if they didn't see it, they could have used it for a potential backup or at least a push to OT. And the Riptide taking out two of the enemy teams, and there we go.
Edgemead does it again. They take the second map in a row, second win, steamrolling 2-0. Edgemead just plain on fire here. And here we've got that play of the game, as we said, from the Farah with that environmental kill. Just look at this beautiful part, um, taking out the two supports there on one go, just pushing them off as they exit the platform there. What a beautiful play. And that's why we just love environmental kills.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal game from Edgemead and Paul's boy. So, however, we will be taking another short intermission. We will see you shortly while we ready up the next match.
Glad to see you back. We'll see you in just a couple of minutes.
And and we are back. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Paul Ruiz on the blue side and Edgemead again on the red hand side. It's going to be very interesting. Let's see how it goes with the Fora.
Yeah, definitely that for us proven to be a dangerous thing this entire tournament. And let's see if if we can have a match for that Fora. We're seeing that the Paul Roos boys also picking up Fora and McCree here to actually effectively deal with that Fora. This time we might have some air-to-air combat here to see who is in fact the better Fora, as well as see if that McCree can make Fora a little bit less of a threat. Yeah, we have a countdown here for the players to start joining in this match. And 2-1, here we go. All right, let's see what they can do here.
And I see that both teams have a pharmacy as well as an honor. So it's going to be very interesting, as well as a diva on the Paul Ruiz side, which is going to be interesting because that diva can definitely engage the far and the sky as well. So that's going to be interesting with the Cassidy as well. Going to be a lot of pressure placed upon the Edgemead Faro. Very, very interesting. Again, just to confirm that Edgemead is playing on the red side and Paul Ruiz on the blue side. Edgemead taking point control instantly, putting a turret down. Turret has taken some damage. Diva contesting. Cassidy dying. The Diva has to go. Fall back a bit so that they can play. But what a beautiful sleep on that Ramatra. Unfortunately, the Honor not surviving it. So they're going to have to fall back, wait a bit, regroup, wait for the Honor so that to respawn and then push back as a team.
Yeah, we see that cheeky bot placement there, waiting for that Fora to come out to just put that pressure on that Fora, immediately putting some damage on the Polaris Fora, just so they can get that early picks. And let's see how they do the Fora here, just putting a tremendous amount of pressure on the team here. Where the Diva is working effectively against this Ramata with that Mercy, just putting it there, giving that health boost there to the Diva. Unfortunately, the Mercy has been taken out, and the turret just playing naughty there, taking out that McCree from the Polaris side. Unfortunately, forcing the team to regroup and re-strategize, taking this point, getting through this chokehold.
Yeah, definitely. And you guys probably have heard that Shoal and I both will refer to the cowboy character as McCree or Cassidy. Just for reference, it is an old name, McCree, but it is the cowboy character. So we are talking about the same thing. However, I see that Diva has been demeked, so there's a baby Diva. She'll need to either die and respawn to get her make back, or she needs to die or build her ultimate again so that she can get her make back. However, unfortunately, she is very, very far, and she is definitely going to struggle getting in some hits to build her ult to get her make back. However, if she can get a make back and she can drop it on either the turret or on an enemy player, she'll definitely get a kill. But she gets a make back nanode. Let's see what happens. Let's see if she can take Ramatra, maybe kill the turret, break some support lines. Molten Core coming out for Torbjorn, denying the zone. Diva again demaked. Mercy keeping her alive. Diva has to fall back and unfortunately doesn't make it. Mercy has to fall back, being pushed by the Ramatra, trying to
someone
get
contest?
Back. And unfortunately, that's a team
just taken
kill.
out there. That was the last hope for the Paul Rose boys to actually get on the point with that Far there. But that air-to-air combat from the Edgemead Far was on point. That was a scary good air-to-air, putting that pressure on right there.
Most definitely. It's interesting. And here with this map, also a lot of environmental kill potentiality. So it's going to be interesting seeing how this happens. I wonder if we'll see some Lucio rollouts to get the forest there quicker so that they can potentially group off the bridge. But we don't really know if that's going to happen or if that's even possible.
Well, definitely something to see. We've got a last-minute swap there on the Polar side to Moira, dealing with the close quarters here, getting some extra heals for the team, as well as a swap.
Oh, and the Lucio rollout unfortunately failed, and he fell to his watery grave there.
Unfortunately, yeah. We see the back, the Polaris team trying to get the back in here, but that far just from the Edgemead just keeps on putting that pressure. The Ramatra shield thing, this team is playing incredibly cautious here. Trying to get that trying to get the back cap in for the team, but the Edgemead is already on point, capturing the first point. Let's see if we can get this back cap in. The team assembling here from the Edgemead side to counter the Polris boys. Shamatra versus Shamatra this time. Getting into that point, all of the team is antied, unfortunately disabling that he'll want to sleep from Anna there to the Ramatra just to get him down. But it seems the Polris were actually putting on some pressure at this point, getting most of the HME team off the point. Can they keep? Can they cap? Unfortunately, with the close quarters, yes, just putting down this team. But more just be trying to heal the Ramatra, trying to keep him alive so they can cap this point. But we have the ult there from the HME Farah, just cleaning up the team and getting them off the point with just the Lucio and the Moira left there, trying to get this cap. Unfortunately, being pressured by that turret there, and it's just going to make it so hard for the team to get back. They have to re-strategize this and come in together as a team, get some tickle damage, so they can have ult builds to allow the team to actually come in strong enough so they can cap the point and get the edge mid off the point.
Definitely. I do see that Moira does have her coalescence up and running very close, so they could potentially use that for a push, but they're all playing a very dangerous game here, pushing through bridge. Considering the Farah is there, she can boop half the team off in half a second if she does it right, but she misses very, very close. Lucio needs to use a speed boost to get them through this choke point, otherwise they're just going to sit, and the Molten Core comes out and
the
denies that whole
comes in.
space.
Can she get the heals on the team and push the team back? She needs to focus on the tank to heal her tank with the Coalescence, but unfortunately the Coalescence is over, putting some pressure on the back line that actually did help a little bit. Let's see if we can get this team here. Here we've got a Cowboy taking up the Farah.
Perfectly with that Deadeye. That is such a great play. Two left, just the Junkrat, and there we go. Be careful for those bombs. Oh, that was close for that Cassidy, almost dying.
And that's how you do it. That's how you take back the point, putting on that pressure. Dealing with the DPS allows you to put the pressure back onto the other team, the shoe on the other foot, so to say. Let's see if they can do it once more to keep Edgemead off this point long enough for them to reach that 99 point cap. They do have the Lucio here as an advantage for their environmentals there. Let's see if they can do. We've got the Ramatra ult coming in as long as with the Farah ult, just pushing the entire team, putting loads and loads of damage there, forcing that May to go into her orb, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to keep Edgemead off the point there. And they kept this round. And Edgemead does it again, just dominating, playing really, really well as a team. They're structurally working together so well. And here we've got a play of the game for once for someone else. And this was a really, really good shot. Just taking down that Farah there, allowing their team to cap. This was actually the play that gave their team a chance, but unfortunately they couldn't hold that point there.
Most definitely. That was very, very interesting on how to masterclass on how to take the point back, but unfortunately they couldn't keep it. We will be taking another short intermission while we wrap up our offline game. I believe we will be going to a short 30-minute intermission.
It will be a 30-minute intermission, allowing teams to regroup and And we're back here for almost the semi-finals for this tournament Comic Con day, and we have seen some exciting matches today, haven't we, Joe?
We definitely have. They Edgemead definitely has been rolling through. Haven't taken a loss yet. Every map they've played, they've taken 2-0. It's definitely been very, very good for them.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, and we have seen some promising plays so far, at least on our side from the Paul boys, and we're hoping here that today that they're playing um, against Ronnebusch, that we'll see some competitive action between these two teams that will actually go to that third round finish, which is always exciting and keep everyone on the edge of their scenes. Um, so let's see how this plays off. We've got the Ronnebusch boys on red, and we've got the Paul boys on blue. So let's see what these teams will be playing. We've got some Farah again here. At least we've got a soldier to counter that Farah this time. So let's see if we can get some hit scans in and make this a fair fight.
Yeah, definitely. I see that there's a turret that's already been taken out. The Farah already doing a lot of work and taking that turret out. Unfortunately, the Baptiste wasting his immortality field there on not being in any real danger. But on point, we've got the Ramatra and the Lucio. Lucio dying, Ramatra taking versus another Ramatra. But with TP set up with a Symmetra, they're going to have a lot of difficulty taking this point with the mobility from that teleporter, which has just been taken away. Oh, I see we've got a Kiriko. It's the first time we've seen a Kiriko today. Shoal, I know you like playing Kiriko. What's your opinion on this? Do you think Kiriko is going to be advantageous for them in this round?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, Overwatch 2, as we said earlier, we had a conversation that if you lose your DPS, you're at a severe disadvantage. And Kiriko is actually one of those healers that can play a strong DPS role with damage from those shurikens. So it's definitely advantage to having Kiriko if you are, not that you would be planning on losing a DPS, but if you do, it is really nice to have. Here we see that the Paul boys are trying to get back on this point here, using that mobility field to their advantage there really nicely. Unfortunately, the Farah there coming around that corner, just pushing them away and getting that team just annihilating them to keep them off the point. We have the Ronnebusch boys really playing well here, keeping this point and keeping the Paul boys at bay. We've got the Symmetra set up pretty nicely here from each of the two main entrances, setting up those turrets nicely to not only do damage but also distract the enemy team. And that's an interesting placement that we got there from the Paul boys on that turret there, waiting for someone to come to the side to see if they can actually gain an advantage there.
Most definitely. I'm glad that they decided to push through main and rather through the side, purely because that we can, or the Farah is such a big threat there in that area where she can get environmental kills. However, hearing the death calls, it doesn't really matter in a whole team kill again. Paul boys will definitely need to go and touch point very quickly just to trigger OT so that we can potentially go to get a flip on the point.
Yeah, but
and they can get a point on the board.
That Lucio is holding back to heal the team rather than to go touch point. They just missed it with the Ramatra there coming in. Unfortunately, not getting to the point in time. But I would have switched to maybe a ball ham.
Yeah, Wrecking Ball would have been a great idea just to get to a quick touch, just to stall out slightly. And we're back here again on Legion Tower. Again, a lot of possibilities for environmental kills here, especially with that Farah in the sky. They do need to be careful of crossing bridge. So the best route would be to go through Hotel there at the back. It's going to be interesting. However, the Lucio, if he does his rollout perfectly, he can get to bridge before the rest, and he could also get a environmental kill. So
yeah,
it'll
we're seeing that both teams have actually swapped to Kiriko on a support here, allowing just a little bit of compensation for the DPS being taken out so quickly as they are squishy champs.
And I see that Ronnebusch has utilized
the first TP. Environmental there. Beautiful.
Oh, wow, well done. And I see that Ronnebusch used the teleporter to get quicker to the objective and claim the ground. That's, after all, the name of the game is claim space as much as possible, make it as difficult as possible. I see that Cassidy has already been killed by the Farah. I'm happy to see that there are 2 hit scans, but unfortunately, the Farah just absolutely demolishes those 2 hit scans. So they've don't really have anything that can take care of it. And
Beautiful
another.
environmental.
This Farah is absolutely, absolutely on fire.
Yeah, it's great to see the Ronnebush boys coming in back, um, and pushing so hard. They've definitely gone into their groove, playing a couple of matches today, and they're doing really, really well. Pushing this team back, switching to the far as well, and they're just pushing out damage continuously and staying so tight together as a team. Watching all the entrances, watching all the players where the Lucio might be going, looking for backups, looking and just keeping them at bay in general.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Cassidy picked off again. They're taking too long sitting here and choke. They really need to push through choke, go through hotel so that they can engage on their terms. However, there are some turrets on the point, so they do need to be careful for that. Lucio needs to fall back. He's going to be in quite a bit of danger. Luckily, he just got out of that trap
Yeah.
thrown by Ramoto. But they now need to desperately quickly push through this point or this choke point
And the
just
Power
so that
Boys
they
switching
can
to
do
Reaper to
something.
get to point, that sneaky backup to try and get to that point, so they can distract and get their team to the finish. Here with the Reaper coming in, doing some damage here, focusing on the back line here, but unfortunately he's left alone without his healer, and the rest of the team slow on taking back the ground that they've just gained a little bit there. But they are in fact almost on point with the remark there, and the Symmetra turrets just in line just to meet them there. Interesting placement there for the turret, just to help push out damage. They get that distraction. This is a very good strategy that they're playing, but unfortunately, the tanks get taken out by the Ramatra out there from the Bush boys.
Yeah,
Just keep them off that
luckily,
point.
luckily that Lucio
Is
beak
anyone going to touch?
kept them alive.
Is anyone going to touch? It seems like it's a no.
Unfortunately, it seems like the whole team has been killed, and
And we have the Runner Bush
Rona
boys.
Bush definitely takes this. Well played. That Farah did a lot of work. Definitely was the hard carry for this round.
Yeah, and they're going to take this into the finals. They're very well played here from the Runner Bush boys. And we're going to allow for the next team to go sit down and prepare for this next round.
Ooh, what a beautiful 3K for a player of the game of the.
Okay, we'll be moving on to the finals now. It'll be the Rona Bosch boys versus Edgemead. Edgemead not losing a match today, so in order to beat them, they would have to lose twice before we move into the finals. So hopefully someone can shut down Edgemead at least once. But before we prepare for the last match before the finals, we're going to allow the players to see. So we'll be back with you momentarily.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for our semi-finals. Please note that this is the third place playoff. So that means that the loser of this round will take this third place. The winner of this round will play against Edgemead in the finals. So they've got a spot or a possibility to take second place or even the first place. However, Edgemead has not yet dropped a match, meaning that if Edgemead does lose in the next match, we will play an additional match for them so that they have a fair opportunity, as this is double elimination, so that we can then play it equally. So let's see how this goes. I really, really, really like what I'm seeing here with the Cassidy on the Paul Roos side, as well as a Farah again for Ronnebusch. That Farah in the last match doing a lot of work. Diva also there for Paul Roos. Hopefully the Diva can contest a little bit the Farah in the sky so that the Cassidy doesn't have to do everything. Widowmaker also there. Widowmaker already on 30% ultimate. Already took out the Symmetra with a headshot. Beautiful shot. Cassidy doing a lot of work. This looks like a nail biter of a round. First time that we see the Farah being contested and taken out. Farah, unfortunately, dying there to an environmental death for the Ronnebusch Farah. Very good match. And Paul Roos solidly in control of the point, pushing them back. Symmetra is in a very bad spot here, trying to get a laser up, but unfortunately, she's not going to make it. The Widowmaker doing a lot of work there.
All we need now is that Widowmaker to focus on that Farah that's putting pressure on the team once she takes out the Farah. But unfortunately, the Farah takes out the Widowmaker instead. Paul Roos seriously needs to get their team back on point as the Ronnebusch boys are pushing towards the point, doing some serious damage here, taking out the supports there by the Farah, just getting their team back on point, and their entire team is almost on point. And we've got the Widowmaker there in the background trying to get those picks in, which is something we'd love to see. There's nothing more satisfying when you press that click and you hear that headshot from the Widowmaker. It's why it's one of our favorite champions to play. And we've actually seen that the Ronnebusch boys are pushing back here. They gained the point here, putting themselves on the map for this point. This is going to be a close one. We can already see.
Most definitely. And this is Ilias, the first map of Ilias. So this is going to be very interesting to see. I love seeing the Zenyatta in the background. And there the Widowmaker ultimate comes out. So Emperor Sight is in play. So need to play a little bit more defensively. But I see that they have set up Cassidy taking out the Farah with his ultimate. Diva Bomb coming in, opening up. Oh, what a beautiful wall from the Symmetra protecting the whole team. That was excellent. However, Zenyatta cancelling his good friend Ramatra's ult with his ult and keeping everybody alive. Unfortunately, a few sim turrets up in the sky. Really need to take it out.
Here.
Diva trying her best. Unfortunately, getting demeked. Widowmaker as well. TP set up to take the high ground for the Symmetra to contest that Widowmaker. And it looks like the Paul Roos has to move back a bit and regroup and focus their attention again. Currently, it sits at 42-62 for Ronnebusch. Let's see how this goes.
They definitely put up some pressure in that round. Just a huge amount of ult investment here from the Ronnebusch boys.
And from
really
Paul.
Just played from well. Both ult investments for both teams here. But unfortunately for the Paul Roos, it worked out a little bit better in the Ronnebusch favor.
Yeah, I love seeing that Paul Roos grouping up as a team, going through the high ground, Zenyatta staying safely behind cover, doing some damage. I don't see him utilizing his Discord that often. There we go. There, he hits one. Perfect. Oh, no, Mercy. Mercy's Discorded. Let's see if that happens. He's taken the Discord off, reallocated it back onto the Symmetra. Diva getting stuck a bit. Mercy coming in for the raise on the Ramatra. Ramatra needs to stay safe. He's going to be the ace on the sleeve. And there the Farah ult comes through, takes out the Zenyatta and the Soldier. Back on 99. Let's see if Paul Roos can turn this round back around. And Cassidy taking out the Farah. And the Symmetra. Unfortunately, Diva being demaked, but only the Mercy and the Ramatra remaining. Ramatra going into his Omnic form, being strong, punchy, but the Mercy healing him, ulting, and there we go. However, we've got the Moira using Coalescence, trying to stay safe, trying to clear out the Sim turrets, but she has to be careful. The Ramatra is going to, ult's definitely going to hurt her if she doesn't. Overtime ticking away. The moment anybody steps off, that OT trigger is going to drop like a stone, and
And
there
there
we
we are.
go. OT in OT goes through to the Ronderbush team. Well played, good round.
That was a really really good play, making it the 0-1. It's interesting to see what we're going to have in the next matches, but those were incredibly good picks from the teams, incredibly good plays, a lot of great saves there, like the one from the Zenyatta, as well as the Symmetra putting up that barrier just to stop the Diva bomb from annihilating the team. Excellent play from both teams. These teams, you can see, have practiced together and know their champions relatively well in order to be able to counter the other team's ultimate ability. So let's see on this second map here, a lot of chance for environmental kills here. As you know, myself and Joe really love our environmental kills, and let's see what we can do here for this second round. Let's
Yes.
see if the Paul Risk boys can take it back.
Yeah, there's definitely two or a champ on each side, a hero on each side that can do some environmental kills, get some very good fora map because it's very high. It looks claustrophobic, but there's quite a bit of high ground up top and space for it to move. Lucio can also get quite a bit of groups if they do decide to challenge here on the right-hand side of the objective. And it's going to be interesting. Cassidy just keeping on poking damage. Ramatra trying to push up in his Omnic form. Mercy out in the open, but nobody really looking at her and nobody doing anything. Symmetra turrets placed on the Mercy on the Maywall. Maywall breaking. Sim turret dropping down. Lucio is a bit redditing, but they're isolating the Mercy quite well. Mercy getting away just there. Very, very, very good. Fora doing quite a good job. And also as well, just keep doing that poke damage. Build that ult. Do some damage.
And unfortunately for the Ronderbush boys, the Symmetra has to actually get on point and that's a cap point for her to be a vital asset to keeping the points alive. But they're struggling to get on point at the stage as the Pole Risk boys dominate the point until the Farah takes out their two supports. The Pole boys are left without any healing, and the Ramatra are going to take advantage of that, getting them on the point where the Symmetra will actually be an asset to the team in terms of keeping the point. They're going to set up those Symmetra turrets and just keep this point and keep the Pole Risk boys from taking it back. But the Pole Risk boys do have some great plays. We've got some ults that are bolting soon, especially from the May side, able to freeze the point here. Let's see if they can get back on point quickly, and because they do have the close combat advantage when it comes to actual on-point fighting.
Yeah, they can definitely brawl. Oh, Widowmaker trying to land some shots. Swapping this late in the round is a bit of a disadvantage considering how close Cassidy was to his Deadeye. Cass did a lot of work in the last round, but it's back on the Widow. Lucio getting that beautiful environmental boop onto the Kiriko. And
yes,
just
perfect.
ultimate ult dumps. They are just using it so much. And there we go, taking the point back. 42-43. And let's see if Paul Ruiz taking it back. Widowmaker perfectly landing a nice shot on that Faro. That was a good kill. Love the TP setup to get them back into the action quite early from spawn. Unfortunately, teleporter has been taken away.
Paul Ruiz has definitely set up a desperate fight here to take this second round, so they can go to the third decider round. And they're doing a really, really good job playing together as a team. We have a little bit of discord here in terms of where the team is placed, but the May coming in here just to hold them with this choke, playing her wall really nicely to give her team the advantage on the picks, closing up the gaps. And let's see if we can we've got the Mercy taking the point there with the Farah, distracting the team, putting the entire team back. Can they keep it there? The Mercy out of place. Can they keep her? Oh, and they've taken out the Mercy there.
Beautiful shot there. Bolter ultimate, getting that infra site, seeing what's going on. Symmetra in big danger, and she taken out by the Widowmaker. Ramatra solo here. Kiriko just joined him. Oh, what a beautiful shot from the Widowmaker, taking out both the Ramatra and the Symmetra.
And that was a great round. That was what we were hoping for them to take, for the Paul Ruiz to take the second round so they can go into the third round decider. This is a nail bite, definitely the semis and the third place playoffs. And here we're going to a very close quarters map with some height advantage as well. Let's see what the teams will pick here. There may definitely be a good advantage for the point cap here as well. This is going to be an interesting one. And these teams you can see it. I mean, I know about everyone there, but these teams are giving it their all. And they are playing exceptionally, giving us good content, good plays and strategies. And this is something that's really, really exciting for us to see as these high schools are getting into the esports spirit, for them to play so competitively and so well. They're really taking this seriously and taking it to the next level.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see because this isn't a map that's well suited to Widowmaker, but this Widowmaker has done a lot of work for them, and she's the only one that's really been challenging the pharmacy combo. Um, I really like this. The May, if they can get to point and they can stay on point, it's great. Using that wall to separate the team, separate the Ramatra from his supports. Oh, beautiful headshot on the Mercy, taking out the Farah just afterwards. Oh, and this Widowmaker doing a lot of work.
Just cleaning up.
Just cleaning up, and a beautiful, beautiful, almost team kill. Unfortunately, they just spawned too early, but well done to Paul Ruiz taking the point so early with such a dominating fashion, definitely leading in the ultimate percentages.
Yeah, let's see how the team will play if they're going to come through main or a little bit of structure because they have to separate the borders to get them off the point so they can come in and play. But we have the same turret setting up, coming there from the top. Very, very clever play, pushing the team up to the top so they can come get to the point from the back where the borders are not currently focusing, and they're really on point, starting to cap. Can they contest?
Unfortunately, Lucio dying quite quickly, taking that fight. So let's see how it goes. Um, Beautiful point cap here from the apologies from the Ronnebusch side, just taking it in decisively, um, setting up that TP to fall back and get back as quick as possible.
Yeah, no, that's really when this is going to be a nail biter for sure. We can see how close it is to these teams. Their positioning is really, really good. They have been watching, from what we can see, pro matches to help them with their positioning, and it has been paying off as long with their practices. That we have two ults invested from the Rematas trying to take out the backlines, trying to take out the supports to get their team onto that point, and they are keeping this point away from the Paul boys.
Yeah, Widowmaker here on the back lines trying to do some pressure them, but definitely needs to fall back and unfortunately doesn't make it. Beautiful right click there from the Symmetra, just tagging the Widow right at the edge. Farah again established her dominance. Now they're going to try and push through main.
Yeah, and definitely we can see Faro here is actually in this league is sort of like a meta, and it's been challenging players and their abilities to head scan by picking Faro. But so far, Paul Russo has done really, really well against the Bosch boys, especially with the Widowmaker there, trying to get those picks off. Unfortunately, missing there a little bit because the Faro is just clean, and they're really going to have to bump it up to get close as a team to get onto point and to cap because we are already at 80% point cap for the Bush boys. Let's see these final battles here. Those Widows trying to pick up that Farah. Let's see if they can get point. It's on 90%. They have to get on the point now and start taking it. We have some ults to invest there from the Symmetra. Would have been great to use that now, but unfortunately lose the Lucio there. There's the Symmetra. And this is overtime. Can they get on point?
Unfortunately, this point is so well defended. Overtime ticking down, and it doesn't look like anybody can touch. Widowmaker almost making it, and unfortunately could not touch.
The Ronnebusch boys take the semi-finals and go on to the finals, putting the Polrus in third place. That was an excellent match. I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the finals. But here we have another game from the Widow. It was definitely a great pick hit scan. Just dealing with the Farah there. This is such a great play to see. Always lovely. And we're going to give the production team a chance to ready the next team for the finals.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. We'll quickly go into intermission, and we will see you shortly for the finals.
All right, thanks. And welcome back. This is the finals, the Comic Con finals between these two Titans that have played exceptionally well today. I have to say thank you for our sponsors that have made this possible, which is Eduvos as well as VX Gaming in partnership with RTB Gaming. Let's get this final on. Let's see what these players will be doing here. So, what interesting picks do you see here of the teams that we have for this final match?
So as usual, we see Farah on both teams, but something me and you discussed in the intermission was we'd like to see a Bastion to assist with taking down that Farah. And guess what we've got? We've got a Bastion, and for the Rondebosch side, and Edgemead is running with a Torbjorn and an Honor. Very interesting. Both teams have Mercy, has Farah, so definitely a full Mercy combo on both teams. Absolutely dominating today's meta. It's very interesting seeing Edgemead going through the safe zone, if you can call it that, to try and get to point first, capture it. Bastion trying to put down a hail of bullets, doing as much damage as possible. He's a great counter for Farah if he can get her, but if he's a bit too stationary, he's going to take a very rough beating.
And we're definitely seeing that Farah versus Farah battle here for some bragging rights. Edgemead being the most dominant Farah today, taking out the Bastion there, as well as the Kiriko of Rondebosch. Just playing really exceptionally well. But both Farahs are actually playing well, doing the most damage here and getting the most picks. So we have that Edgemead. Oh! How did we know?
That was Did the Mercy already use a raise? It seems like it because she's not. Ah, there we go. And Mercy goes in for a raise on her Farah. Edgemead Farah doing a lot of work. But Rondebosch already right back at it.
That's something I haven't seen in a long time. Is a Farah double kill. It was actually quite entertaining to watch here. You're seeing that Farah coming back here. They got some beef to work out here, but we've got the Farah from the Edgemead there playing that exceptionally well, just taking out the support as well as the DPS, taking out that Bastion, as he is in fact the biggest threat to the Farah. So making sure that Rondebosch Bastion doesn't make it onto point, doesn't get the open picks on the Edgemead Farah. So really well played there by the Edgemead Farah.
Beautiful turret placement here on the high ground to contest it in case they do take it. Rondebosch is going to have quite a bit of difficulty trying to push through this choke if they continue. However, Farah spamming Rondebosch, Bastion going into turret mode, into sentry mode, but not really moving anywhere, wasting that cooldown because that's on a quite long cooldown time of about, 15, 17 seconds, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, definitely wasting some time here. There we've got at least one elimination there from the Rondebosch Farah, taking out the support there, but we've got the Ramata just backing up there. Just popping that all from the Rondebosch, cleaning that. Oh, and we've got the Molten Core. Can they take out the Mercy? He's this only player from the Edgemead on the point currently with the Farah trying to take out that Mercy. Because the Mercy's just pocketing that Ramata.
Keeping him alive. 2 DPS on him. But however, we've got our Mercy back, Farah back. Mercy going into Battle Mercy mode, popping up some shots, trying to get that Farah. Farah going down to Mercy. Beautiful. Symmetra turret setting up everywhere to do some protection. Mercy coming in for the right raise over on the Edgemead side. Edgemead definitely in control of the point to an extent. They are definitely challenging it, but Rondebosch has taken control of the point. 15 to 91, 91 being for Edgemead.
And that's very clever turret placement there from the Edgemead side, but the Rondebosch just taking it out before it can do any real damage. The Ramatra there, taking out the other Ramatra as well as the Symmetra there. So the Edgemead know they can take back this point. They just need to get that Farah off the point, which they now have. No one's touching currently, so they are out-manning Rondebosch at the moment. And there's the ult there. Oh, unfortunately, not taking out the Farah. Ult wasted there, unfortunately. Did not play off. And we've already got 99% here for the first round for Edgemead. Rondebosch is going to have to work hard to get this one back. And they're spreading their team out a little bit in order to dodge that Farah.
Only the Farah for Rondebosch is still left. Mercy trying to come in, but unfortunately stepping off, getting a C9, unfortunately. But that was a very good round. What a defense put up by Ronnebusch, taking that point back, flipping it over, and getting up to at least 33%. Have to say, highlight for me of that round was definitely the Forest simultaneously taking each other out, and just perfectly in sync.
Someone said in the comment section that this match has been dominated by Faras, and those two Faras just battling it out. They definitely have beef with one another, and they're edging to take it out here to prove who is the Farah of the day. Because there's no doubt that today Farah has been the best champion to take the stage.
Most definitely. And I just wanted to remind everyone that should Edgemead lose this match, we will go into another match, same teams, so that we do get our losers bracket run as we for them, as they have not yet lost one. However, Edgemead's already on point, taking control of it. Sim turrets trying to contest the Farah, keeping that zone open. Ramotra taking out the Symmetra turrets of Ronnebusch. Symmetra trickling in on his own. Winston coming in for a dive, bubbling himself, but unfortunately couldn't make it. Symmetra really needs to fall back, otherwise she's just right for the pickings and just giving them free ult charge. However, being healed by that honor to the point where she could actually take the Ramotra. It looks safe. Soldier 76 trying to counter the Farah. Unfortunately, didn't make it. Farah taking it out quickly.
Winston getting the high ground there. That's how you should deal with the Farah.
Yeah, teleporter set up as well for the high ground, taking it, bubbling himself. Strangely enough, I would have thought he'd jump.
Oh, this is definitely. Oh, there we've got that Farah just taking out the Winston there, as well as the honor for the team. Edgemead just dominating this point. Can Ronnebusch take this back? They're going to have to play very, very quickly and work together as a team, wait for the whole team to spawn and effectively get back on point.
Most definitely. And they're going to have a hard time pushing through this choke point unless they go around the back, try and take the high ground to engage on the Farah kind of at her level and close that range. Winston kind of isolated here, making strange choice, but moving back. Very good call to move back there.
Yeah, just trying to get the picture on where the team is positioned as the Edgemead team is all positioned together. Nice closely. Can they get a back cap pick, which is what the Winston looks like to be trying to do here, is trying to get that back, trying to get the team to separate a little bit more, so that his team, the Ronnebusch, can actually come in with him on the point. But he unfortunately isolated from his entire team there.
Luckily escaping just in time. That bubble saving him with that Torbjorn going into overcharge, or it's called overcharge.
Yeah.
Doing quite a bit of work there, but
yeah, definitely we need to see some action here from the Ronnebusch team coming in with some ult investments here with the Western. Unfortunately, leaving the Western isolated here for the team. They need to get on point very, very quickly to be able to contest. They have Symmetra on the point here contesting. The Farah, they're taking out some of the background, the DPS and the honor. They need to get on point to cap this point here. Can they do it? Unfortunately, the Matra, they're just taking out the competition, and it's 95%, and it looks like Edgemead is going to take this.
And Edgemead has taken it. Well done. Congratulations to Edgemead. That was a phenomenal display of Overwatch 2 skills.
Yeah, that was great. Seeing from these teams. This has been such a great tournament, and this Farah has been dominating. It's just been dominating this entire tournament, and it has been really, really great seeing what they can do with the Farah, seeing that aerial control.
Oh, what a beautiful pick on that Mercy.
What a of you for being here with us to watch this with us. We're here in Gauteng and you guys in Cape Town. It's great that we can sort of enjoy this experience together. Thank you very much, all of you, for being here. Joe, some last comments from my co-host, Joe. Thanks for you for also being here with me and making this an enjoyable experience.
And thank you to you. Thank you to all of our participating teams. Thank you to our production crew. Thank you to our sponsors. Once again, EduVos as well as VX Gaming. It was a pleasure to be here with you guys today.
All right, and we'll see you guys tomorrow again for the EduVos School Tournament. And this is Joe and Shaw from RGB Gaming signing off. See you next time.